What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. And similarly to what I did about 2 months ago, I'm going to be showing off my armor build in this most recent update. And oh my gosh, do I have a lot to go over. So without further ado, I'm going to open my inventory. And if you can see here, it looks somewhat similar, but there's also a couple differences. What I first want to go over is my amulet. Okay, so back when the Nimbus C came out, defense on every single item got buffed, and if I'm being honest, it was a little too OP because you could get 400 plus defense on a single item and you'd be completely stacked in just 2 defense items. You'd have 1,000 HP, and I'm not gonna lie, or 1,000 defense rather. It was too busted. So the balance team, what they decided to do in the Empires update, they reverted us back to how defense used to function back in 1.14. And if you're not already familiar, that was the Dark Sea update. So we've virtually gone back an entire year in development with armor builds. But I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of needed. Things are too OP. And right now, I switched from using a powerful, like blasted power amulet. I now use a armored defense amulet. And what this does for me essentially, it gives me the variety I've always wanted, because if I'm being so completely honest, I got so sick of running full Sunken Warrior, Arcanium and Power Amulet. Like, it might have been the most efficient, but it got very boring very fast. And this item finally gives me the versatility I want. And honestly, it lets me restructure my entire build, and it's something new, it's something interesting, and I just really like using it. So I would actually use a blasted, just to preface things, I would use a blasted defense amulet, not a frozen one. I have no clue why, but it gives more like efficiency points. So if you're going to be running a defense amulet in your build, please use a blasted one. So aside from that, secondly, let me move on to my arcanium, because I still use arcanium despite what I've said, getting sick of it. I actually use fire arcanium now compared to glass, what I used to use. I used to use fire back in, I believe, 2023 and 2024. It was the second magic I ever chose for my savant. And I'm not gonna lie, when the arcanium stats, when they started getting unique stats, fire didn't really suit my fancy. It gave decent power, but also gave, like, a little bit of attack size. It wasn't what I was looking for, and that's why I switched to glass. But the balance team, they've been cooking lately because they decided to completely revamp fire and gave it full power. They completely disregarded the attack size it used to give, and now it gives 3 less power than glass and has none of the negative drawbacks glass has with the negative defense. So now I run Blasted Firemancer Pants, and I paired it with Powerful because I needed a lot of power, and this item gives at least a solid 48 of it, like 48 of my power from this item alone. And then I put some Candelaria on it because I want some attack speed, and that's about it for this item. It's just a really strong item, and it finally gives me the variety I wanted. And thirdly, similarly to my old build, I still use a Sunken Warrior chess piece. I didn't have one for a while, so shout out to my friend Catwoman. She gave one to me for absolutely free. Thank you very much. I was needing one for so long, and I really appreciate that as a gift. So what I decided to do, I paired it with Powerful because I already feel like I got enough defense for my amulet. So I put Powerful on it, and then I socketed it to Candelaria as well. Also similarly to my build, I'm moving on to my Sunken Iron Helmet. I put Atlantean on it. Sorry, I didn't put Atlantean on it. Somebody traded to me, so there was Atlantean already on it. And then I put Brisk and 2 Lapis. And what that did, using RC Plays loop technique, it cycled back to power. So it gives 14 power, 200 defense, 23 attack size, 50 attack speed, pretty wild attack speed. So 50 attack speed and 14 agility. This item is like one of the key components to my build because it just gives me a lot of stats. And I would actually recommend experimenting with some Sunken Iron with Brisk and Atlantean because it gives some pretty crazy stats. And lastly, I want to move on to, like, probably my favorite item in this entire update, Rear Admiral Amelia's cloak. Oh my gosh, is this thing versatile? I mean, if you pair it with Atlantean Essence, you can do virtually anything you want with this item. So starting off, I believe this one has armored, but essentially it gives 14 power, 21 intensity, and I believe 113 defense. And if you put Atlantean Essence on it, you can literally cycle to anything you want using RC Plays technique. So what I did personally, I like attack speed. So if I hold shift here, I socketed a single Malachite and a single Morency, and what that did is that it cycled all the way back to attack speed, and it gives me currently 42 attack speed. So that's personally my preference. You can do whatever you want with this item. I would actually recommend you use it in your armor build if you don't do it already. And that's about it for this item. I mean, my whole build, it feels completely different, at least for me. It might look similar, but it feels completely different with all the changes to how fighting works and how builds work. I've finally gotten the variety I've wanted, and I hope you guys find the variety you want too. And if you're already not familiar with my PvP like montages, I'm gonna insert some clips here of how this build functions. And yeah, hope y'all enjoy. Peace.